Hello, Alonso. We're here at Roger Gracie Vienna. Could you mention your name, please?
My name is Orlando Machado Neto.
You're from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. You came to USA and then to Austria. Could you tell us your story, how you came to Austria, how was life in Rio and Brazil, and did you do in USA?
Yeah, I grew up in Rio de Janeiro, and in America was very short. I spent just 1 year there, where I was doing exchange student. I was there for 1 year, and I started playing American football and did a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of jiu-jitsu. I came back to Rio. And then when I got my black belt, I started coming to Europe to do seminars. I was coming here very often to do seminar and spending sometimes only 1 week, sometimes I was spending 3 months, and I was traveling all around, but all the time coming back into Rio, sometimes bringing some friends to make a tour in Rio and make some trainings. And that's how everything started in Europe until the day that I came to Austria and I kind of set up here. I found a place to stay.
How did you end up in Austria? What was special about Austria that you said you want to stay here?
Yeah, actually, it was one of my students that became a very good friend of mine. It's like family, Lincoln Rodriguez. He was living here already longer than me, and I was in Munich at the time. And this friend of mine, he is a MMA fighter. He's one of the pioneers and the big idols of the MMA scene here in Austria. And he was often going to Munich to train jiu-jitsu with me. He was already brown belt, and he started training with me every weekend. He was going to Munich and training. We were training together with a couple of my students there in Munich as well. And then one time he said, "Man, I'm tired all the time. I have to read the whole to come to train with you. Would be nice if you come to Austria also sometimes." And then I came to teach some seminar here, and, and that's how it started. I kept came often, and then I like Lincoln had to leave to for a couple of reasons. He left Austria, and then I kind of took stay at his place here, and yeah, and then I got married, have a son, had that he's Austrian, and that's how I set up in Austria.
For sure, it was exciting to grow up in Rio de Janeiro in the home of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Could you tell us some stories about growing up there, training? With whom did you train? With some very interesting people?
Yeah, of course, like I had the opportunity to see all the jiu-jitsu growing when I was like around 4 or 5 years old. My stepfather, that he's also a black belt Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He's one of the first students from Carson Gracie in Copacabana, Figueiredo Magalhães. That is the most traditional Brazilian jiu-jitsu school like ever. Is this school is the temple of the Brazilian jiu-jitsu? Is this school in Copacabana? And my stepfather was training there. So every time that he was going to train, he was taking me, and I was just sitting there and watching, waiting for him to finish to train, and then of course playing a little bit of jiu-jitsu. So there I had my first contact with jiu-jitsu in the Carson Gracie School in Copacabana, and yeah, then I was going with him, watching. I tried some kids class and that, but I really started with 14 years old, around 14 years old. But then I started in Axi, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, is where I had all my formation of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with my masters, Vinicius Campelo, that is students from Rickson Gracie and Silvio Bering, and Otávio Couto, that was student from Romero Cavalcante, Jacaré. And those are the two masters that taught me during my whole life. Of course, we always learn with other people as well during our journey, but mainly I learned everything in Axi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, is where I belong from, where I come from. And in Rio de Janeiro was always a very exciting life, like you guys see videos, and everything at the beach, everything about surfing and jiu-jitsu. So it was a very relaxing and cool life. I had a lot of fun, and I had the opportunity to see all the Gracies, whoever the rivals, Carson Gracie and also the Gracie Barra guys. So I had the opportunity to have friends everywhere, So I was very welcome in Gracie Barra, in Carson Gracie, the biggest rivals at the beginning of the Jiu-Jitsu. And so I'm a lucky guy. I had part of that.
For how long do you train now, BJJ, and what's your belt rank?
Well, if I consider I don't consider when I was a kid, but when I really start training daily, that I was going to the gym alone and really start training. Let's say that I have maybe 25 years of jiu-jitsu or something like that. Yeah, I'm black belt, third degree. I'm 14 years black belt, so I'm gonna get my fourth degree as soon as my master has a little time to come to visit me. So I'm 14 years black belt, yeah. And yeah, that's my graduation.
You also competed in some tournaments. You had great achievements. Could you mention some of them?
Yeah, I competed more when I was younger, and then as soon as I got my black belt, I started traveling and came into Europe and that. So I was alternating Europe and Brazil. So there was not so many tournaments around here in Europe. And yeah, I had some tournaments, I had some tough fights, but my focus was always on teaching since the beginning. Since I was blue belt, I wanted to learn how to teach. I was very interested about how to find the best way to show that to the people. But of course, around my journey, I had many competition when I was younger. But on the black belt, I didn't compete that much. But I was when I had a little time, and I wanted to go to try myself. So during this time, I had very hard fights. I made many finals with the top guys like Roger Gracie. Paulo Filho, that was fighting Pride, Gabriel Napão, Márcio Peripano. I faced the top guys from my time there. And when I got my black belt, I was Rio de Janeiro champion, Brazilian second place, and I won some international opens here around Europe. The last one I fought was in London, 2014, and yeah, I got first place there. 2011, I also got first place in London. So have been a while that the tournaments I'm fighting, I'm all getting gold. Luckily, in the last years, yeah.
You were competing even you had to deal with a back injury. You had some back surgeries. The doctors told you to stop to compete, but you said no, you want to go on with competing. What was your motivation for that? What was the mindset behind that to push through?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not so dramatic guy. I don't like to make a promotion under injuries or this kind of stuff. The truth is the my whole injuries and surgeries, that was just two surgeries. It was only two surgeries on my back, but all over my body I have at least 7, 8 more. So it was a lot. There was in the last let's say that in the last 1 year and a half, 2 years, I had 3 surgeries. So it stopped you because it's the time before the surgery that you are injured, you cannot train, the time for recovery, and then you are ready on the next surgery. So I was a little unlucky on this point. That stopped me to compete more. I would like to be able to compete more sometimes. Not even to myself because I know what I can do, but I know that my students have fun when I fight. They like it, they enjoy to see me. So I do this more for them than to myself. So, but going back to the point, a lot of people they post on the social media, on Facebook and that I had my surgery here on the hand, but thanks God, like now I'm back 100%, and I'm gonna go over this all my life, and thank you my family, my sponsor, blah blah blah, and that I'm if I post on Facebook every surgery I have, maybe I'm gonna need to have a second account, because it's and I don't like that. Everybody have surgery, everybody gets sick, everybody overcomes some problems in life, and that. So normally I don't like to talk about that, like because I had a surgery. Like people put pictures on the hospital, picture of the broken back, broken elbow, broken arm, and say, and I'm back. So I don't believe on that. What make you come back is like because you like. If you like to compete, you're gonna come back. You're gonna compete. Whatever you like to do, you're gonna want to come back. So that's what you push you forward. I myself, unfortunately, I cannot compete 100%. But if I can give 50% because of my injuries, if I can fight 50% what I can, I'm gonna be already happy. you know.
There's still a big discussion about the different styles of BJJ, of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. More like sport Jiu Jitsu style, more for MMA and self defense. What is your opinion on that, and what is your style of BJJ? How would you describe it?
Yeah, for me, the jiu-jitsu is only one. It's the jiu-jitsu I learned and that I grew up with. It's only one. Before, nobody talked about that. Jiu-jitsu MMA, jiu-jitsu self-defense, jiu-jitsu sport. Nobody was even talking about that, because what you're learning only one thing. In jiu-jitsu, you should learn self-defense. You should learn the sport jiu-jitsu, and also MMA jiu-jitsu, or what they say, MMA jiu-jitsu. You learn everything. If you are trained, you are learning everything. You should be learning everything. If you have if you train in a good school with a respected trainer, black belt, our search a good school to train guys, you're gonna be able to do everything. So for me, jiu-jitsu is only one thing.
What is your opinion on Brazilian Jiu Jitsu in Austria, or what are your ideas about it? What are the achievements you already accomplished here in Austria with your team?
Okay, what I see in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Austria is that we have a lot of problem with sponsoring, with investment on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu here. Austria is a very conservative country, talking about promotions, about investment, sponsoring, and this kind of stuff. So the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is growing a lot in Europe. So automatically it grows also in Austria and a couple other countries with less investment on this sport. There is no other way. There's no way that they can close the doors and say, no, we don't want Jiu-Jitsu. It's gonna grow. If it's growing in Germany, if it's growing in France, Portugal, England, it's gonna grow in Austria. However you want or however you don't want. It's nowadays is the most the martial art that most grow all over the world. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So a proof of that is my school. If you come here at night, you have maybe no place to breathe. It's very packed here. Whatever you come in the morning, night, afternoon, you're gonna have a lot of people, a lot of sparring partners to train, and that. So in Austria, is missing sponsors, is missing a little bit of investment, sponsoring the athletes, so we can grow it. But it's on the right way. So you can see like we have a school here, and in the international scene, everybody's looking. Man, those guys in Vienna, they are alone there, and they come here and they take the trophies that you guys see over here. Like we are beating the big teams all over the world. Of course, we have the support of Roger Gracie on the background. Our team, it's a very strong team. Roger Gracie is the biggest competition of all times. So it takes us together with them, but everywhere we go, our group sometimes is alone, only us here from Vienna, Roger Gracie Vienna, and we take all the medals, and the guys say, man, how those guys can do that and that. So it's nice to see that, and I believe that the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Austria is gonna soon be very big as well.
Lately, you had a great achievement with your team in Berlin. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, in Berlin was it's just a matter of organization. We decide the guys, my students, they like to compete, so come off them. They say, Orlando, I want to compete in Berlin, and then come another one, Orlando, I want to compete in Berlin, and then when I see so many guys talk with me, I said, you know what? So let's organize, let's make a training, and let's go to compete in Berlin. So I took the guys there. I was expecting already to do very good. We got second place on the gi tournament, and we got third place in the no gi tournament, fighting against the biggest schools in the world. For example, the Gracie Barra had more than 100 people fighting, and they put all the Gracie Barras together. Gracie Barra Germany, Gracie Barra everywhere in the world. They put everybody together, but we are mostly our athletes here from Vienna, couple from other places, but let's say 95% our athletes here from this school that we are here now, and our athletes did very good job there. Not only white belts, but blue, purple, brown belts, advanced. We have every kind of training here, heavy guys, light guys, and everybody did very good here.
Gracie Barra had about 100 competitors there. With how many did you come there?
On this tournament, we had 30 competitors, yeah.
That's a great achievement. You often get called the BJJ Master of Austria. I think that's totally true. So what is your BJJ vision for Austria? Where you want to go, where you want to bring BJJ in Austria?
Well, I'm hearing this for the first time from you. I heard another names, BJJ professor, BJJ guru, and that. Now you say I'm the BJJ master from Austria. I was the first black belt to live here in Austria. I think couple came to visit, to make short visit and that, but I was the first to establish myself here in Austria since 8 years ago. And well, what I want to grow my affiliated schools. Like we have one affiliated in Graz, the Roger Gracie Academy Graz. We have Roger Gracie Hanley in Linz, okay, with the Professor Hanley, a black belt that came from America, that is also together with us. In Tyrol, we also have a Roger Gracie affiliated there. So I want to grow our team, and I want that the Jiu-Jitsu, not only my schools, but the Jiu-Jitsu grow in Austria. I want the Jiu-Jitsu to get big in Austria. So it's hard to say what I want. I would like to see my son training, maybe taking my work one day. Would be nice, Lorenzo. So yeah, it's hard to say.
There's a great seminar coming up next year, the beginning of next year. What do you want to tell us about that? When it will take place?
Yeah, once a year, Roger Gracie come here to Vienna. So it's always a big opportunity to learn from the best. So if you don't take part in Roger Gracie seminar, with who you're gonna take part, So it's gonna be a no-gi seminar this time for the first time. Normally we do a gi seminar, so this time a no-gi seminar. So the guys who like to fight MMA also gonna have an opportunity to learn a lot. And the seminar is gonna be in the same place as ours, that is the Hakoa Club, that in the second district. It's a big club there. They have a nice gymnasium. So we are gonna have some fights before the seminar, like ours, and after the seminar also we're gonna make a little party, like we always make. And everybody's welcome to take part. Who just want to take part can contact me as soon as possible before the tickets are sold out. And it's gonna be a nice event. I'm looking forward. But before this, we also have the European tournament in January. Couple of our guys are gonna take part in the European tournament. Our brown belt, mostly, and maybe my girlfriend Samantha is also gonna take part. She's doing very good in the tournament. I'm very proud of her. And yeah, that's it.
Do you want to mention something else, like sponsors or people that helped you?
Yeah, it's always good to thank the sponsors. So Sport Narum is Ponte is always giving me a good support, and not only to me, but for the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. So it's not so many sponsors in Austria for the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, so we have to promote the guys who help us to grow, you know. So Sport Narum, thank you very much. And yeah, everybody who help, all my students who is always trying to push the Jiu-Jitsu forward.
Thank you very much, Orlando, for the interview. It's always a pleasure to meet you, to be here in Vienna. Thank you very much. Now you're going to show us a nice technique. Do you want to say some comments on it?
Of course. Let's think about the technique and let's do it. So let's go here for the technique. I'm here with my student, my big champion, Daniel. Okay, very proud of him. And we're gonna make one technique here that I've been working, and I enjoy a lot because you can sweep big guys. For example, like he's 20 kilos more than me. Okay, so sometimes you need a very big leverage to sweep big guys. Okay, otherwise it's not gonna work out. So I'm controlling him here. I'm gonna shrink out a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna work the lasso here. Okay. From this position, I'll keep very tight so he cannot take the hand easily out here, okay? And once I'm here, I'm gonna start working my foot on his biceps, because once I lift, he's gonna stand up one knee. Normally the knee of the side you do the lasso guard, okay? So from here, I'm gonna work the de la riva, or my foot go inside, okay? As deep as you can, very tight, everything very good. A lot of people work this kind of guard here, but they keep trying to sweep with the foot on the biceps, on the spider here. And sometimes with a very big guy, you're not gonna be able to sweep, you keep insisting and the guy keep it there. So what I can do that I like a lot, I take my foot out of the biceps and I'm gonna work inside here. Always, every time you're gonna kick it, the lapel is gonna come up down. Okay? What I can do, sometimes the lapel is here, you just grab it on top and start pulling a little bit on the direction of his head. From this position here, your foot go to the mat, your head go in the direction of his back. Okay? Now I'm gonna pull the lapel at the same time that I'm gonna stretch my leg here. Okay, he's gonna fall very hard. From this position, simply you can go to the side control, or you can already set the knee, come with the other hand on the lapel, okay, close your elbows tight, and start the choke here, very hard choke. Okay, so once again a little bit faster. No matter if the lapel is inside the belt, once you kick, it's gonna go very easy outside. So we are here, out, back, foot, we lift, my hook, very important here to go deep on the de la riva. Okay, now take a look here. Looks a little bit hard, but it's not. You just take your foot here and lapel is there, perfect. Everyone can reach the lapel. Okay, once you reach here, no matter how heavy the guy is, he's gonna fall. What you gotta do, foot go on the mat, okay, opening outside, start pulling him to you, right hand pull him to you, and you stretch your left leg. Okay, once you sweep, straight, knee, other hand, this we call here skirt of the gi, okay, close your elbows tight and apply the choke. Okay, that's it guys. If you want to know more variations from this setup, okay, you can search any Roger Gracie affiliated in Austria. Thank you very much.